Hello, friends. My name is Clara. I'm 20 years old. I live in a tiny apartment near the train station. And if you stood in my room for even 5 minutes, you would hear the constant sound of trains arriving and leaving. A noise that has strangely become the rhythm of my life. Most days, I follow the same routine, going to classes, working at a small cafe, reading late into the night. But there is a part of me that always waits for something unexpected, something different, something that would remind me that life is not only about repeating schedules. That something came to me on a rainy evening, when the streets were crowded with umbrellas dancing like restless flowers in the storm. I was hurrying home when I saw it. A dark navy umbrella leaning against a wooden bench outside the little bookshop by the station. People rushed by without even noticing it. But for me, it felt impossible to ignore. Its wooden handle gleamed faintly under the yellow streetlight, raindrops sliding over it like silver threads. And in that instant I felt as if the umbrella was quietly calling out to me. I can't explain why, but I stopped, bent down, and picked it up. And the strangest thing was, it felt warm in my hand. In the middle of all that cold rain, the umbrella carried a warmth, almost like a heartbeat. Then I noticed the carved initials on the handle. AR. And my curiosity grew instantly. I kept asking myself, who was AR? Was this umbrella left behind by accident, or was it abandoned on purpose? My train was about to leave, so I carried it with me, telling myself I would leave it at the lost and found desk. But sitting in that crowded train, the umbrella resting quietly beside me, I couldn't take my eyes off it. It didn't feel like just a forgotten object. There was something personal about it, something that made me feel as if it was meant to be with me. That night, when I returned to my apartment, I leaned it near my door and told myself I would return it the next day. But deep down, I knew I wouldn't be able to part with it so easily. And I was right. Days passed, and the umbrella became more than just an object in my home. On mornings when I woke up anxious or tired, seeing it by the door gave me a strange comfort, like it was silently reminding me that I was not alone. On evenings when I came back exhausted, its polished wooden handle caught the hallway light and made me smile, even when I didn't want to. You might think I'm crazy, but I began to feel that the umbrella was alive, like it carried someone's soul inside it. One afternoon, after almost a week of keeping it, I finally decided to take it back to the place where I had found it. The sky was gray, the rain steady, and my heart was restless. I stepped into the little bookshop, the bell above the door chiming softly, the air filled with the scent of old paper and fresh coffee. And that's when my life changed. Because standing at the counter was a young woman with her hair dripping wet, her coat heavy with rain, and in her hand was a fabric umbrella cover, navy blue, with the exact same stitched initials, AR. At that moment, I knew the umbrella I had been keeping was not mine to hold, but hers. One afternoon, after almost a week of keeping it, I finally decided to take it back to the place where I had found it. The sky was gray, the rain steady, and my heart was restless. I stepped into the little bookshop, the bell above the door chiming softly, the air filled with the scent of old paper and fresh coffee. And that's when my life changed. Because standing at the counter was a young woman with her hair dripping wet, her coat heavy with rain, and in her hand was a fabric umbrella cover, navy blue, with the exact same stitched initials, AR. At that moment, I knew the umbrella I had been keeping was not mine to hold, but hers. The moment our eyes met, time seemed to stop. She looked at the umbrella in my hand, her lips parting in disbelief, as if she had been searching for it all this time. My steps felt heavy as I walked toward her, slowly lifting the umbrella, my voice trembling as I asked, "Is this yours?" She looked at me, and her eyes glistened with tears as she whispered, "Yes. It belonged to my father. He gave it to me just before he passed away. I lost it here last week when I came to buy a book, and I have been coming back every single day hoping someone might return it." Her words pierced straight through me. Suddenly, everything I had felt, the strange warmth, the comfort, the invisible presence, made sense. The umbrella was more than fabric and wood. It was a memory, a piece of her father's love, something that carried his presence even after he was gone. I placed it carefully in her hands, and she clutched it to her chest like it was a treasure. For a moment I thought that was it. I would return it and walk away, but she didn't let go of me so easily. She looked at me with trembling eyes and said, "You kept it safe when I couldn't. Maybe you were meant to find it." Her words struck me like a secret truth. We ended up sitting together in the little cafe inside the bookshop, sipping warm tea while the rain tapped against the glass windows. She told me her name, Anna Rose, and suddenly the initials AR were no longer a mystery. She spoke about her father, how he loved books, how he carried that umbrella on every rainy evening, how he used to tell her that umbrellas were not just for shelter but for sharing, for protecting someone you love from the storm. I listened quietly, feeling every word settle deep inside me. Hours passed, and I realized that this meeting was not just chance, it was destiny. When the rain finally slowed and we stepped outside, the streets were glowing under the lamplight, and Anna smiled at me with a gentleness that I will never forget. "Sometimes losing something is the only way to find what we truly need," she said softly, her umbrella open above both of us as we walked together into the night. And I realized she was right. Because the lost umbrella wasn't just about something forgotten and found. It was about connection, about grief turning into hope, and about how even the smallest object can change the direction of a life. That rainy evening gave me a story that was no longer about an umbrella. It was about meeting her, about finding meaning where I least expected it, and about how sometimes the things we hold on to are not really lost at all. They are waiting for us to discover the reason behind their journey.